Welcome children to video lecture of social science. This is the fourth video lecture of chapter number 14 and we are going to study about the coastal plains of India. In the previous chapter we had seen about Peninsula Plateau. In that we had seen about Malwa Plateau, Deccan Plateau. Today we will see about the coastal plains of India. So without wasting time, let us start. Peninsula Plateau is surrounded by a narrow belt of plains from Kutch to Odisha. It is divided into eastern and western coastal plains. The west coast plain is spread from Gujarat to Kerala. Okay, as we have already seen and I had already shown you a diagram, the western coast is spread from Gujarat to Kerala. Except in Gujarat the plain is narrow. Okay, in Gujarat it is broader while it is narrow at the other places. It is very undulating and is known as Malabar Coast to the south of Goa. Okay, if you go southern side of Goa it will be known as Malabar Coast. West Coast rivers have developed creeks at their estuaries. What is estuaries? Estuaries are river mouths which end up into ocean. Most of these creeks are submerged valley under the river water. See what are they? They are basically the submerged under the river water. Okay, they are valleys, small valleys under the river. These are formed due to the emergence of seashore. Okay, as the seashore emerges, okay, they are the small type of valleys which are created. It provides favorable conditions for fisheries. See, these are very good for fisheries. There are many natural ports on the western coast of India, which include Mumbai, Marma, these are some of them. Backwaters have developed along the coast of Kerala. You might have seen backwaters. Okay, Kerala is very famous for the backwaters, and these are known as Kayal in local language. They are known as Kayals in the local languages. East Coast plains is much broader than the West Coast. See, West coasts are very narrow. They are very near the coast, while East Coast are away from the coastal lines and they are broader. There is a substantial alluvial deposits in the delta. What are deltas? Deltas are triangular shaped landforms which are created due to the bifurcation of the rivers. Okay, when the river bifurcate, there is a triangular form of land which is created, and that is known as delta. It is known as delta. Krishna, Godavari and Mahanadi. In northern coast it is known as North Circle coast, and the Tamil Nadu coast is known as Coromandel. Remember this. The northern coast is known as North Circle coast, while the southern coast is known as Coromandel coast. There was a poetry by Sarojini Naidu, Coromandel Fishes, and it was very beautiful poetry. Next topic that we are going to study is archipelagos. Archipelagos is basically group of island. Okay, group of islands are known as archipelagos. There are few archipelagos in India. Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep are major. You might be knowing about this too. Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep are two major archipelagos that are situated into part of India. There are many smaller islands in Lakshadweep, and these are located at some distance of Kerala coast. See, now you might be knowing Lakshadweep is situated into western side of southwest side of India, while Andaman Nicobar is situated in the southeastern side of India. Okay, these islands have a horseshoe shape. Okay, some of the islands have a horseshoe shape, this type of a shape, right? And that's why they are known as atolls. Such coral islands, see, most of the Lakshadweep islands are form of corals. You might be knowing about corals, right? And they are known as atolls. So what are atolls? Atolls are basically horseshoe shaped islands, okay, formed of corals. They are known as atolls. Okay, Andaman Nicobar Islands are situated in the Bay of Bengal. See, they are Lakshadweeps are situated into Arabian Sea, while they are situated in Bay of Bengal. Here, the number of islands is also more than they are situated very far from Indian coast. There are few mountain ranges, some of which are formed due to volcanic activity. See, before the origin of India, okay, there were a lot of mountain into this part, this to this oceans, and they are still existing, right? And there were a lot of volcanoes also. These islands are spread over 350 kilometers and have a strategic importance. They are strategically very important. Strategically means it increases the area of India a lot. They are very away from, they are very far from India, but still they are part of India. The only active volcano in India is Barren Island in Andaman Nicobar Archipelagos. Narkodam, which is near the dormant volcano. There is a diversity in physical features of India. Say, there is a lot of variation there. Every region has its own distinct characteristics. Every region is different from one another, and yet all the regions are interconnected. All of them have important contributions in the progress of the nation and are useful in the forest resources. They are very useful for the forest resources. Northern fertile plains are also called the storehouses of the grain. Now we already know, I had already told you about when we were studying about the North Plains. North Plains are known as the storehouses. They are known as the storehouses. One second, yes. Okay, they are known as the storehouses of India. Okay, because a lot of grain grow into this part of it. Southern plains is rich in minerals, which has enhanced the national progress. They are very important for mineral resources. So, southern side of India is important for mineral resources. Many rivers with large volume of water originate in the northern mountain river region, which is also known very fertile for the forest resource, and that's why there are a lot of forest into this part of India. Next, we are going to study about is rock. Rock doesn't mean the rock that you know. Okay, rock means stone. Rock is a composite matter made up of one or more minerals is called a rock. See, rock is made up of more than one mineral. Rocks can be hard as well as soft. See, it can be hard as in soft too. Soft doesn't mean that you can push it, okay, but they are softer means they are brittle, they can easily be broken. They can be porous and non-porous. Porous means with holes, it can absorb water, while there are non-porous which are without holes, and can be light and heavy in weight. Various types of rocks are formed due to different processes. Okay, there are various kind of rocks that are formed. Rocks can be divided into three categories. Remember this. Rocks are divided into three categories. Right? They are divided into three categories on the basis of their formation. On the basis of the formation, there are three types of rocks that are mainly. First, igneous rocks, stratified rocks, and third is metamorphic rocks. Now let us study about the rocks into detail. Now igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are rocks which are made out of lava. Which are made out of lava. See, these are the variation parts of it. Okay, here you just have to read it. You don't have to remember them. Okay. Stratified rocks are rocks which are formed due to layers. Due to layers, formation of the layers. And metamorphic rocks are rocks which are formed out of these two rocks. Okay, which are formed out of these two rocks. So mainly there are three types of rocks: igneous rocks, stratified rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Okay, these are the different forms of them. We don't have to remember them, so we'll start going further into the chapter. First, let us see into detail about the rocks. Igneous rocks. The intense heat in the interior of the earth is responsible for the formation of these rocks. They are formed due to the ignition or fire. The interior of the earth remains very hot due to the heat. So matter here is in semi-liquid state. We know about it, right? Which is called magma. Okay, magma is the lava. We also know it is lava. Eventually, when this magma cools down, okay, when there is a volcano, okay, when the volcano bursts, this starts flowing, and slowly, when this particular magma cools down, this forms into rocks. They formed into rocks, and these rocks are known as igneous rocks. Okay, so these rocks are formed due to effect of the heat. Hence, these are called igneous rock. In the formation of the crust of the earth, these rocks were formed earliest. See, they were considered earliest form of the rocks. So they are also known as primary rock. Remember this. Which rocks are known as primary rock? That igneous rocks are known as primary rocks. At the same time, it can be asked inverse. Igneous rocks are also known as, then the answer will be primary rocks. At many places in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and southern peninsula of India, such rocks are formed. Igneous rocks are most solid of all the rocks. They are very solid and strong. Granite is well known example of plutonic rock. Okay, and basalt is also type of a rock, and they are part of igneous rock. The next rock that we are going to study is stratified rock. Okay, stratified is layered. Igneous rocks disintegrate due to collective effort of water and other forces. See, when this rock, igneous rock, breaks, okay, into small granules, they will be layered, okay, and they form the sedimentary rocks. The broken material is constantly deposited in water and they form layers. Okay, now what will happen? Okay, now say this. Okay, suppose imagine this is the broken igneous rocks. Okay, and they are formed. These are granules. A layer is formed. In few years, there will be another layer which will be formed on the top of it. Okay, and this particular process will continue for years to come. This will continue for years to come. Now what will happen is, due to the heat from inside, due to the heat from inside and pressure from the top, okay, this will harden, this part will harden, and they will turn up into stratified rocks. They will be turned up into stratified rocks. So you understood how. So when a stratified rock is seen, there are layers found into stratified rocks, and those layers are formed due to the deposition of different kinds of rocks into it. Thus, say, let us see now. Thus, the rock material is deposited into different layers. The upper layer extracts pressure. See, this upper layer extracts pressure on the bottom, and that's why they become harder. On the layer and undulating rocks which will slightly initiate and are lying at the bottom, and eventually rocks are formed with different layers. These are called stratified rocks, and this is known as stratified rocks. It is example of, there are examples gypsum, limestone, coal. Okay, these are examples of stratified rocks. Coal and gypsum are obtained from Bihar and Jharkhand state. Bihar is very known for the coal mines, right? Next we are going to talk about is metamorphic rocks. In certain particular condition, the form, composition and the other characteristic of the rocks are totally changed. See, it is changed. Now morphic, here you need to understand, morphic is a Greek word for change. Morphic means change. So those rocks which are formed due to change of the other rocks are known as metamorphic rocks. Due to the combination effect of the two factors, high temperature and pressure of the rock strata, The igneous and sedimentary rocks change. See, the igneous and sedimentary rocks change. They're formed due to some of the conditions. It can be due to heat, it can be due to the pressure, it can be due to any other reasons. And due to this change, the rock which are formed, they are a new type of rock which are formed. They are known as metamorphic rocks. Okay, what is the term used for it? Metamorphic rocks. This newly formed rocks are known as metamorphic rocks. Marble and quartzite are available in Rajasthan, and they are the best example of metamorphic rock. So in this lecture we'll keep till here.